Hey ladies and gentlemen, I'm going through all the capacitors. No, I shouldn't say all of them. I mean all the electrolytic capacitors. I'm using this new meter that I just built a couple days ago. And what I do is I write down the reading I get for the resistance, that AC resistance that they call ESR. I'm writing it down for electrolytic caps so I don't forget it. And then I'm working through the circuit. And I'll show you what I found. Found another bad one, and it's pull up the schematic. I was going through the power supplies. Now here's this 9-volt power supply, 9-volt regulator, and it has two caps, C421 47 microfarad and C422 330 microfarad at 16 volts. So it takes a bit of doing. You gotta look on the top, but I found it in here. Let's see. Now I can't find it anymore. Found it. Okay, I gotta stop this so I can find it again. Yeah, it's right below that triangular thing. Which translates to here. So I'm going to check the ESR on that again. See, I got it hooked up and my ESR meter reads 3.7. Now that was for a 330 microfarad 16 volt. So you look on the chart here and it says 100 through 500 microfarad should be about between 0.1 and 1. So I'm thinking maybe about a 0.5. So it should be 0.5 and I'm reading 3.7. So that's bad. It's definitely bad. And I got here, see? That capacitor goes right there. So hey, that's my 9 volts. And my 9 volts, as you remember from a couple videos ago, I was suspecting the 9 volt was shot because it wouldn't light the power ID, and that runs on 9 volt for the power LED. So there you go. So that one, I'm pointing at the wrong one. That's the one there. That one, this one's 421. I didn't check it yet. But 422, 330 microfarad goes into the regulator, and that's bad. So, see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying there? I had a feeling I find another bad electrolytic in here. And that's right at the 9 volt regulator. So I'm going to keep going through it and see if I find any other bad ones. And then I'll order them up, And I don't know, maybe I'll test this regulator too somehow. Yeah, this is C422 that I tested bad on the ESR meter. And you can see how it parks right next to the heatsink for the voltage regulator, for the 9 volt regulator. So this is the input to the regulator, and when you look up the regulator you can see that it requires a minimum of 2 volts over the 9 volts for the thing to operate properly. So it needs 11 volt input. So if this cap is bad and somehow is shorting out the ground just enough where it cuts the voltage down from 13.8 volts down to a little bit under 11, then this regulator is not going to work. There's going to be no 9 volts. So I was suspecting the 9 volts anyway, but you can almost see how this cap has drying out of the electrolyte because it's parked right next to the voltage regulator that gets hot. So this is why I wanted to test the electrolytics out, 18-year-old electrolytics. And there was one person that really gave me flack about that, and I didn't understand why, because I'm like, why do you want to leave like bad caps in the thing? I don't get it. And I found a couple bad ones over here. This one here, that one there, they're 47 microfarad and they're both out of spec. So, and these two here, this one was bad, this one's good. Oh, this one's bad. Notice right next to the heat sinks, that one's good. These are the same values, but that one's bad, that one's good. So, like I said, parking electrolytics next to heat sinks ain't a good idea. So that's what I found out, so I gotta order these up. Well, I found the problem with the TV. I unsoldered that bad cap, and right in the middle where that triangle is, that's the 9-volt regulator, and I didn't touch that yet. But I said, well, let me just see where that is. And I went, touched it, and it's loose. You can see it moving. I hope you can see that moving. Back up a little bit. But it's loose, and I didn't even touch the connections on that yet. So what's going on is that I don't know why, but they're all loose on that regulator. So go figure. That's why this set wasn't working. That's why no 9 volts, because that is loose and it's a bad connection. Bizarre. But I didn't see that was loose before, because the old cap, if you remember, just like a second ago, this or a minute ago, this cap was right against the regulator, so it was keeping it kind of secure. I didn't notice the thing was loose. So there you go. So that's the problem. But you know what? I actually ordered a new regulator for that, and the regulator is only 40 cents. They're pretty cheap. So I'm going to put a new regulator in there anyway. But that's it. That's the problem. So once I get it all together, replace the other bad caps I found, I think it should work okay. I hope. Yeah, just for the heck of it, I checked this one here, this regulator Q423, and that one has back connection too. If you listen, you can hear it. You hear that? It's actually loose. It's loose right there, and it's loose right here. So the solder is no good. Isn't that lovely? So I'm going to resolder that one. Okay, here's the new MC7809. This is called ACTG, but the same as the CT. MC7809 CT. 9-volt regulator. Here it is in the bag. And I'm using the static strap because it says on the box, electrostatic sensitive device. So what I'm going to do is bend the pins so they're exactly the same as that one, and insert it and solder it up. And like I said, this is probably good. I'm not saying it's bad, but what I'm saying is this, that because this regulator only costs 40 cents, I don't see any problem about putting a new one in. I hope you guys don't. But it's, 40 cents. Come on. This is 18-year-old, so, I don't want to take this set apart again. So for 40 cents, I think it's worth putting a 40-cent part in. Yeah, it's hard to see, but I kind of bent them the same. The new one, the same as the old one. And don't mind me, I kind of got allergies and a flu or something now, but that's why it sounds so lousy. But there you go. So I just bent the new one the same as the old one. See, here's the new 422 C422 330 microfarad. And notice, see, I put it away from the regulator. The old cap was laying right against it, and that's why I didn't notice that the old regulator was loose, because the old cap was, affixed next to that. And it was keeping it from moving, keeping it like fixed. But I put this one, the new cap, like straight up, so it's not hitting against the regulator at all. So the regulator won't be cooking the cap. I think that's probably a better idea than what Toshiba had, but the boards were, probably like wave soldered or something, so it just happened that the cap, the original cap, ended up sideways against the regulator. It's just probably like a fluke. But then again, the cap probably lasted, I don't know how long, but that's cool. Anyway, there's a new one in there because the old one was bad, so it's all good. See, what I'm doing here is just going down the list I made for myself, just checking them off one by one like a little kit, and then I'll have all the kind of lousy caps all replaced. Oh, by the way, while I'm at it, I'm resoldering all these small regulators that are throughout the board here. That's another one there. I think that might be the last one. But apparently, maybe it's the heat of these regulators. It's destroying the solder connections. So I might as well just hit them all while I'm at it. It makes sense to do that. I was thinking about this last night. I took the relay back out. I really wasn't happy about how I did this. I put two pieces of electrical tape over that stud I had bent down. And I'm thinking, well, when I put it in, that electrical tape could have melted a little bit. So I took it back out. You can see when I took it out, the solder I did there kind of came undone a little bit. You want to think of a better way of doing this. Yes, yeah, cut that out. Just put that piece of plastic over that tang. Now I'm going to tape that down. And now that's going to be insulated a lot better when I put that piece in there, Yeah, I use that helping hand thing to solder that new lead on there. I know I could have went out and got a new relay, but I spent $12 for that one, so I figured I'd just fix it, and it's totally usable. Yeah, that's what the new repair is going to look like. So I put the tape over that piece of plastic that I put on there, resolder that on there, and made it longer to guide it back in. So I'll just stick it back in just like I did before, and the pin is high enough here so it'll make good contact with the board. So that's a lot better. I feel a lot better because I didn't want this to touch the bent tang that I bent down, and I don't need that arcing over to there. So this is a lot better repair. So I'll shove that in. There, I got it back in. I reinstalled it, so I'm a lot happier with that. I hold in my hand the last bad cap. That cap was situated next to the heatsink there. Put some light on there. And when I tested that with the ESR meter, that was bad. That's the same value, 470 microfarad, but that one was good. So I'm just saying that, parked next to the heatsink, heated it up, and it's not any good. I got to put a new one in. Alright, I got everything back inside for the third time, and I got the picture tube drive board attached. I got these temporary hooked up with a heat shrink, and I'm going to put the heat shrink over on there, put the back on and flip it back up to see if it works. So that's the next step, see if it works. Okay everybody, I got the cover temporarily on here. I don't have the screws in it, and if it doesn't work I'll have to take it apart again. But I want to give it a try. I temporarily hooked up the electrostatic ground wires to the picture tube. So no further ado, let me see if it works. Here's the on button here. Well, we got the LED to light up. So we got 9 volt. Okay. We got raster. And it's kind of funny. It's almost like it's trying to get something in. Okay. Now, I got my VCR hooked to it. So I got to put it on... well, let's see. Do I have it plugged in? Here, let me... I don't. Let me plug this in. Take a second. Okay. I mean DVD player. That's the VCR. Got the DVD player plugged in now. I gotta put this on. Put that on video. You know that those lines are, I think, from the camera. That's what those lines are. Those horizontal. It's the camera doing it. Okay, let me turn this on, see what happens. Alright. Let's see, I got all the lettering in there. Mission Impossible. The linearity is definitely better than what it was. I don't have that bar down here. I had a black bar because the picture was shrunk on the bottom. But it's definitely a lot better. I'll be honest with you, this is a great TV series. Alright, cool. I just gotta finish this. I just gotta finish that electrostatic ground there. You gotta solder that, put heat shrink on that, and then put the back on permanently. And then put it in the living room and see if it works after plunking it in the living room. Which would be interesting. Okay, this is how the other half lives with a 12-inch TV with a big VCR balanced on top of it. That's what we've been watching for the past month, but I guess it's been a month. I don't know. 10 videos? It's probably been about a month. But I'll be happy to get the TV back in the place where it's supposed to go. Alright, the TV is back in place. I'll tell you, this Toshiba 26-inch is a heavy TV. So, this thing's flashing here. I'm going to turn it on. And I don't know what's going to happen because I just dropped it here. That's why I'm out of breath, because it's heavy. Carried it from the garage into the living room. Now I gotta turn it on, and I just plunked it in. Will it work, or will it not work?
To play them both.
Whoa.
First, an explicit warning no one had heard before, from Frank DeLeo, who saw Michael Jackson just 5 days before he died, and was alarmed enough to call Dr. Murray and leave this voicemail.
Sure you're aware we had an episode last night.
Oh man, it's too sad.
His opponent, Democrat Roy Barnes, made.
Alright. Oh, that's nice. Actually works. That's pretty awful too. So all this awful stuff on TV. I'm like, why even have TV? Sounds like old Billy Graham. It's pretty good, I guess.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Alright, so
It's just a lot to do.
I can tell the linearity ain't perfect, but it's better than what it was.
Hey Jack, we're down here at the Manhattan.
So maybe the vertical chip is screwed up or going weak or something, I don't know. But it's better than what it was, and it works. It goes on and goes off like it's supposed to. Let's see. Goes off. Goes on.
I'll meet you at the office.
Okay, kids, that's a wrap.
It's fine. Just
Have a good time. Have a nice week. Have a good day. Bye.